Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and we are back. Late Dive Racing, or LDR for abbreviated, is back, and we are back for Season 6. So, yeah, took a long, I think a long month break from racing in LDR. We didn't participate in the last two races. Well, actually, we did in Japan. That video will not be uploaded for Japan because, well, it really just only lasted about 4 corners. But, yeah, so we're back. Obviously, we're coming off the last race that we technically did because I'm not going to count Japan. We came off a actually really strong result in Imola, but it is now a brand new season and brand new rule changes. It's now, instead of 3 tiers, it's now 2 tiers, and there's a bunch of new drivers. We have been split up. The dream team of Ferrari has been split up. Me and Reimer are not teammates this season, but it doesn't matter because we still have a voice call going. But we have a new teammate. We are still with the Ferrari, which is pretty good because this is what I wanted, but our new teammate is Clint. Now, I do not know much about this guy, but he is not racing tonight. He has something to attend to. So, Anime Boy, if you guys remember from Monaco, he is reserving for Clint this weekend. So, we do have a reserve on board, which is pretty good. But, yeah, so obviously, hopefully Anime can get some points for Ferrari. And, obviously, like I said, brand new drivers, a lot of Tier 2 drivers, which you guys have probably never heard of, are racing here. So, there's a lot of new names that I'm going to have to get familiar with. And first race here in Mexico, not really my best track. Honestly, Mexico is probably one of my worst. I feel like it's probably one of my worst tracks. I'm not a big fan of it, and I've never really been able to set a car up properly. But it's actually a brand new setup we're trying, and this one actually is coming from a pretty well-known PSGL's driver, Alessandro Finn. I was gonna make a setup, but I could not get anything on all. I could not make a setup. It was just too hard to kind of get something for the right feeling. So we went with Alessandro's setup, and actually his setup's actually pretty decent. I did tweak a couple things with his setup a little bit. Just changed some wings and some suspension components, but that's all really it. But yeah, like I said, now we have a full qualifying session and a lot of new drivers you actually could see. So we'll kind of get through all the names. But yeah, brand new sets of rules as well. No more ghosting. If you're in an accident, you have to avoid them. I don't think you're allowed to ghost under a safety car unless you really have to go to the toilet or something, but you can no longer do that. So, yeah, but like I said, a lot of new drivers. Jose tops the session with a 113.8, and we are sitting P8 and just ahead of Nerf, and our teammate Anime Boy got knocked out in Q1, so not a great start for Anime Boy, but I think he'll turn it around. I mean, for the race, hopefully, but who knows? He's just a reserve at the end of the day, so who knows how committed he is at the game, but it is okay. I'm still hoping for a good result from him. But anyways, for Q2, Q1 was actually fine. We were able to do one run, so I was actually really happy with that, but so far Q2 is, it seems to always be the one that we always do struggle to get out of, and it's just super tight between Q2. And I don't know if it's just me making mistakes. As we make a mistake, as we actually invalidate, we cut the corner ridiculously bad. But I don't know if it's just me or whatever, but for some reason Q2 always seems to be very close. I think if you watch Spain, Q2 was actually really, like, we just snuck in by like 2 milliseconds. And I believe the same was actually maybe with Abu Dhabi, but I think that was when me and Reimer both went out in Q2. So obviously, hopefully that we can avoid those near mistakes, but you never know. So far, 7/10 up on our lap. Well, actually 10 seconds, technically, because we backed out. But this lap is not really going too well. We do have a worn set of tires, so it's not really going the best. And it's really the only set I have. I don't want to chuck on a set of mediums, but it's a 114.7. The mechanic with a 114, he put a 114 something on medium, so that's actually really impressive. CMS actually went down to 7th as well, so he's actually in the risk as well, but we're P5, and at the moment we're not really safe. Anybody else, I believe everybody else from the mechanic is safe. Jose, I think Jose honestly will be fine, but I think he's just out there on a used set, and he actually did improve his time. I don't know if he went top of the session, but yeah, we're at risk, and we're on a used set of tires because I'm not really trying to use a new set. And plus, I don't really have a new set to use right now, so this is not really going to be the best. And this is actually the used set we used from Q1, so this is the third run that we're doing on this set of tires, so it's not really going to be ideal. We're actually a 10th, already about a full 10th down on our lap, so it has not been going so well, and I just cannot get the traction. I backed out, and well, thankfully we were able to get out of Q2. The nerd Nick, who was a tier 2 driver, now moves up into tier 1, did not improve his time. AC Andy, though, it was super close between me and him. And AC Andy actually went out on I think he went out on a set of softs, and he didn't even improve his time. So I guess we got lucky. But yeah, the mechanic just kind of was the cutoff zone that we needed to get. And well, we made it into Q3. We cut that super close, and well, we're notorious for doing that, but that's sometimes not ideal. But hopefully Q3 is a lot better for us, and we're going to use both sets. Reimer, I believe, is only going to use... I think Reimer's only going to go out on his old set. I think he wants to save a new set for the race, or he's going to burn it. Now, I don't expect like a late safety car, so it is kind of good to save one set because you have a fresh set, but I don't think it would really be too bad if the tire was at 2 or 3%, so like it's not really the end of the world. So we're just gonna send it on both sets. We have nothing to lose. Honestly, getting a championship in this league is going to be like a goddamn miracle, in my opinion, because I'm not the quickest in here. I think roughly I'm like top 10 at least. Maybe I think maybe I'm top 10 in the league, but not really the fastest overall. But speaking of me shit talking myself, we set at 114.1, so that's actually really impressive and almost into the 113s, and that's P3 so far. So, you know, all that stuff I was just saying about myself actually maybe worked out. Now, I don't know who's on a used set. I don't know if anybody used a new set. Like I said, I don't know. But it was actually a pretty good lap, and actually got a lot of praise for that lap by the commentators. So thank y'all for watching. But final run here, CMS. It's close between me and CMS, and super close. What I mean by like almost split by like 4/1000 of a millisecond. So me and him are like neck and neck. Jose is in a different he's in a different area code. He's got some pace. Xylee goes up into P2. Xylee, I believe, is a new driver, and I believe he has a lot of pace, so he's going to be sort of like another quick guy with Reimer and CMS and Eferzy and all those guys, Zox and all that. I'm just gonna kind of be chilling because I really don't know how competitive I'm going to be this season, but we come across the line now, 3/10 up, and that's actually going to put us P2, 4/10 off Jose. So found some time, super close between me and CMS and Xylee, so it was very close. I mean, CMS wasn't even far off. He was split by, again, 4 milliseconds, so we got the 4 milliseconds ahead of him, and Xylee, he's about a 10th off, so that's honestly not a bad lap for him. But hey, P2, only 4/10 off Jose, so that's actually pretty impressive. But Reimer, unfortunately, goes down to P8. He did not really improve his time, and I think he really got caught up with Emmanuel blocking him on his lap, so he just was not happy about that. But we set a 113. That's all I care about. It's impressive. But P2 for the lineup. It'll be interesting to see what kind of strategies people go for. I'm going to go mediums. A couple guys are going to probably go hards, and that might be the strat, but I'm not even 100% sure. Honestly, I think we'll be fine on the mediums, but like I said, 36 laps, not really my best track, so I'm kind of hoping for a miracle here. Lights out, and away we go for Season 6 of LDR, and not the best of start. Jose, actually, me and him are actually kind of got neck and neck, but I believe CMS actually got a better start over all of us. He's around the outside line. Jose defends the inside line. I'm thinking about sending one down the inside, but I'm not going to go for it. I am not going to be stupid and cause a mess, a pile up. But yeah, so CMS moves up into P2. CMS, Xylee, and Eferzy all went hard tires at the last minute, so they are on a different strategy compared to what we are. So they're going to plan to run long, and then they're going to probably use the softs to kind of, not the softs, the mediums to kind of use them up. But CMS actually getting ahead of P2 probably did not help because we lost 1.6 seconds, so we've actually lost time from that. And I felt like I could have kept up with Jose a little bit. I don't know how much I would have kept him in the race, but I feel like I would have maybe snuck into the DRS and maybe just kind of try to follow him through for a couple laps to pull away from CMS, but he got the better start, and him being ahead, he wasn't going to give up the position. Why would he? And ultimately, Jose was able to pull away. Lap 4 now, 2.4 seconds is the gap, and, well, we're not gaining anything, and, I mean, we're not gaining anything, and really the mediums I don't really feel too comfortable on this tire. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but I can't extract any pace out of it. Lap 5, and I can't get any pace out of this tire. I don't know what's going on, but it is a struggle right now. And here comes CMS, and here comes Xylee, as we get just absolutely stuck like a sitting duck on the straight. And obviously, when they both get DRS, there's nothing you can do about it. Maybe we could stay behind these two and just kind of just try to stay within the DRS. But like I said, I mean, I just don't have pace right now, and struggling really to just kind of adapt to the setup, I feel like, a little bit. But you can see the back end loss was not ideal. We had a lot of overspin there, but like I said, I mean, yeah, we just don't have anything right now, and he fares, he goes shooting right past us. So these guys are very quick, and they're actually working together, so they're going to try to DRS share up into Jose, but Jose's raw pace in general is just incredible. But now it's just going to have to try to stay in the back with these guys. But now lap 7, lap 8, these tires are really going to start kind of going off the face of the earth, and I'm really struggling to get the power down, because any little moment I get, I just get oversteer, wheel spin, or understeer. So this car is not really doing my favor for me, and Kev doesn't even have much, and right there just another snap of just oversteer, which is crazy. But yeah, even Kev was struggling too on a set of mediums. I believe he was like 2.1, so he's definitely fallen back, or he's just been doing tire management. And at this point now we just have to kind of manage the tires and just kind of just try to push a little bit when we can. But yeah, I can't get any sort of pace out of this tire right now, and it's unfortunate, but nothing you can do about it. And as you can see right there, the gap is 3.2 and 2.5 behind, but Reimer actually, credit to Reimer, he got back up into P7. Reimer actually did make a mistake, and he was actually caught up in the back of like that train, so he actually made a mistake. And speaking of mistakes, track limits is coming. Oh, we made a mistake. Again, like I said, really just not feeling too comfortable with this setup, and wheel spin and did not help, and another track limits warning for that. So that's just another icing on the cake for this weekend. So this race has gone the most Charles Leclerc way I think I could ever script it in 2023 at the moment. But we're going to pit now for the hards. Maybe we can extract some pace on the hards. I'm not 100% sure. Overall, I just think that these guys are just overall a lot quicker than me at the moment, which there's nothing wrong against that. But yeah, so we'll just have to try to extract something out of these hard tires. And well, that mistake did not help, so we're probably going to be sitting behind Reimer a little bit, but 11 seconds is the gap. So safety car would be probably helping out a lot of these guys. But Knight up into 7th place on the hard tires, so Knight is definitely doing a really good job in his Red Bull, and same with Reimer as well. They're doing both a good job, and we are gaining, obviously, thankfully. I mean, they are on older tires, but yeah, so at the moment Jose pitted, and Xylee and them are running the long game. And speaking of the long game, actually my worst fears have actually came true. A safety car has been deployed, and that helps out everybody else in front, not me, because of my penalties. So yeah, we're screwed. But yeah, and there's no ghosting on the safety cars, so we'll see what happens. But we got ahead of Reimer in the pits, which is actually pretty good. But we're kind of stuck behind Kev, so we didn't lose too much positions, but it's really going to be a struggle to kind of just stay ahead of all these guys. But yeah, Jose is running P4, and all the other guys, the McLaren, the Sauber, and the Aston are all up there. And CMS, I did believe, win the championship last season, so he's definitely going to be trying to secure another one. I don't know the league history. I don't know who has this many titles. I don't know. But Season 6 is a short season, mainly because they're trying to switch over to F125 when the game comes out, and then F125 will be a full season, and then they do a mini season. So that's when I kind of figured out. But safety car back up, and we are back going, and Reimer actually lost some time. And it was actually because Emerson, who is back for another season, and oh, Jesus Christ, almost lost it there. And speaking of, yeah, like I said, Emerson, he was ghosted, I believe, and it wouldn't allow him to overtake him. So we've actually lost some time. But like I said, I mean, this guy's pace is incredible, and it's mainly because obviously we're kind of in this train, so it's not really roughly too bad, but we got to try to stay with these guys. And I mean, I can't really do anything. I mean, I got nothing to lose. But I'm more worried about pulling a gap behind from Nerdnick. But I'm actually glitching on Reimer's screen, so I'm going to let Reimer go. And if this helped, I don't know, but we're going to let him go anyways because he said the glitching was getting really bad. So I don't know if that's just him trying to get a free overtake, but my Wi-Fi was kind of maybe crapping the bed just a little bit, so we'll let him go. But at the moment, Kev cannot keep up, and he's really struggling at the moment. So I don't know if he's able to even to keep up, or it's just Jose or it's just those three working together, pulling away from DRS. So like I said, I mean, those four are really on it this weekend compared to what we are. I mean, I'm just kind of slow. Reimer does have a lot of pace, but he can't even really extract at the moment because he really messed up on his one run where he actually lost some time. But thankfully, the gap behind is not too bad behind. I mean, it's only 4 seconds, and Knight does have a time penalty, but we're pulling away from Knight. He's on the mediums, but he's really going to struggle towards the end because he's kind of at that phase. But it seems like the medium guys are doing fine because, you know, even around the time when my tires started going off, they were pulling away perfectly fine, and another moment of oversteer gives us a time penalty. So burning bridges left and right, and this is not the most frustrating race or the most Ferrari race ever. This is the most Ferrari race ever because speaking of Ferrari, and my boy DNF'd on lap 1. So there was a couple DNFs, no crashes though, just DNFing in the pits. So I don't know if Anime Boy had like a wheel damage or what, but a couple guys are retiring from the race, and I think it's just because they're too far back or they're out the points and they don't think a safety car is going to happen. I expect less safety cars this year. It kind of just depends on who gets into accidents, but I really expect less safety cars. It kind of just depends on if anybody kind of does anything stupid or if there's like a big pile up. But speaking of pile ups, there wasn't really a single, I don't think there was really a single crash in the race, but I can't really remember. I mean, I maybe hit the back of Xylee a little bit, so I do apologize for that, but on like lap 4, but like he didn't really get sent flying or anything. He just kind of got a little bump tap. But obviously at the moment, lap 28, I mean, there's nothing really much more to script in this race, and Jose, Iferzi, and them, they're all in a DRS train, but they're all, like I said, I mean, when you're in a DRS train and you can't really catch up, it's just kind of game over, and we're just kind of running this second train of cars, and at the moment, Knight's just trying to hold on from Metal God and some of the Tier 2 guys as well. I believe Stealth is actually the last guy in the points, and the Nerd Nick and a couple guys. So yeah, a couple Tier 2 guys. Metal God, I believe, is Tier 2. I think everybody up from P8 is Tier 1. So you're going to kind of see a little bit of a difference. Now, there are some drivers that actually are not racing here. Speaking of moments, Kev actually got a little love tap from Reimer, so that was probably not ideal. But little mistake. It's okay. We'll move on. But speaking of Tier 2 guys, Zox is not here this week. He's actually, speaking of Zox, he's actually down in the Australian Grand Prix by the time I recorded this. This was during the weekend for the Australian Grand Prix, so he was actually down there, so he didn't race. And I believe my teammate did not make it this week, and I believe a couple other guys did not make it. So there was definitely I know Zox is Tier 1, and there's a lot of drivers that aren't returning this season, and one of those actually is the letter P. But we are actually having a technical issue. My wheel disconnected. Yeah, my wheel literally disconnected. And this has been a common theme now that's been going on. It disconnects and then it pauses into the PS5 menu. Now, a lot of people don't know. People know I have a PC now, but I play on the PS5 because I had the PS5 when F124 came out. But my PS5 has been acting weird because it doesn't, like, I don't know if it's just a wheel issue or what, or if it's like a game issue, but my wheel just disconnects and we've actually lost time. But actually, Kev was able to claw that time back. So, I mean, to be fair, Reimer was kind of backing off because he was just kind of, I think he just backed off because I think at this point he just had a lot of tire wear at the end. But last lap now of this race, and I'm glad this is over. But I actually am thankful because we're actually pulled away from Metal God. So really impressive. But yeah, you could see that the split. You could just see the split behind. I mean, it's 20 seconds, and I believe Metal God is Tier 2. So you definitely see there's going to be a big split of drivers. So I think, with all these, with the two tiers combined, I think it's going to make it a little bit more interesting. But it's still really impressive. But a lot of the tier 2 guys that were actually at the front are actually really impressive. So Jose wins. Jose is a reserve for Mercedes. I believe Vaughn is actually did not make it this weekend. But yeah, there we go. P7 for season 6, race 1, and not a deal. It was really just a frustrating race. I feel like I just had no pace at the beginning, and I think I really messed up my start. And I think if I didn't mess up my start, I believe we probably would have been maybe able to keep up with Jose. But like I said, I mean, those hard tire runners, they were flying at the start. So I think the hard tires maybe were the strap, because even on the mediums, they were not losing time, but all three of them were working together. So it's not like there's not much you can really do in those situations. But yeah, Jose was able to come out on top. They had an epic 4-car battle. I believe Jose pulled away though around the last lap, so Jose's pace was just really incredible. But yeah, so nothing really that I can write home about, nothing really to debrief, but just was a really just a really crappy race, and that was just, it was super frustrating. I remember ending the stream, and you know, I was talking to Reimer, because like I said, me, Reimer, and Kev were all on a voice call, and we were just really confused. We just didn't know, like, I was more confused because I didn't know where the pace went. I don't know if I was just really struggling or something went wrong, or I was just straight up slow. So I'm just kind of confused at the moment. But the time penalties did not help. I think we probably would have maybe gotten P6 if we got lucky, but I'm not going to complain about it. This was just a really just a crappy race for me, and the wheel spin probably did not help. And actually, speaking of, we kind of shown a little bit of the action. Xylee maybe got a better start before he had a wheel spin, so it was very tough. And yeah, maybe if I sent one down the inside, it probably would have been close, but Jose was just way too far ahead, and that just happened. So you just have to accept it. But yeah, overall really frustrating. But we'll move on. I believe next race is Spa, so I might be okay around there, but like I said, that's during Sebring as well, so we'll see if we even race there. But anyways, thank you all for watching this video. Thank you everybody that's been supporting my channel. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see y'all in the next one.